This is a June 2018 and 43 variant question number 1. So question given here, diagram shows a velocity time graph. So train travels from rest, starting from rest, and for station rest at the next station. Okay. So the graph consists of three straight lines, line number 1, line number 2, and line number 3. Okay. And distance between the two stations is a 9404. So it means the area of the whole trapezium is equals to 9040. Okay. So what happens for this is, for example, station number 1 and station number 2 here. So there are some parts. For example, start from here. This motion is represented by this line, because in this it is accelerating. The train is accelerating. So this is accelerating. This is accelerating. Clear? Okay. And then this is a 10. Look at what this speed here, 16 meter per second. So 16, 16, 16 throughout 16. So it means there is a one motion. This is called constant velocity. So constant velocity is this motion. This is expressing here. And then deceleration. And this is deceleration. So this is deceleration part. And I believe you got the idea what I draw on the line on the top. Okay. So acceleration during first 40 seconds. So acceleration, and we have two rules on the whole chapter of velocity time graph. Number 1 rule, the gradient of the line is actually called acceleration or deceleration. All right. And second, the area under graph, under lines is called distance covered. Distance covered. So let's start. So find acceleration of the train first 40 seconds. So what is the coordinates here? 0, 0, and what coordinates here? X is 40 and Y is 16. So I can say here 40, 16 like that. And now I can find out easily the gradient formula. So 1640. So let's start. 1640. And here 0, 0. And how to find gradient? So gradient formula of acceleration equals to V2 minus V1 over T2 minus T1. Normally we use Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1, but because we know now we have velocity along Y-axis, that is why I wrote V2. Anyway, so V2 is this 40 and V1 is 0. So 40 minus 0 and T2 16 and minus 0. So 16 minus 0. So this is a way to get the acceleration. And just matter of typing in calculators. 40 divided by 16, it is giving us 3.08. Okay, let me check again what the question he is asking. Find acceleration of the first 40. So sorry, the opposite, 16. Y2 is 16. So Y is the wrong values I put here. It should be not 40. This should be 40, 16. In this sense, I should write it here. What? Y2 is 16 minus 0 over 40 minus 0. I repeat, Y2 minus Y1 and X2 minus X1 or whatever. I given the other variable names. Anyway, so 16 divided by 40. And my answer is coming here 0.4 meter per second square. So first part is done. Let's go for part number 2. And part number 2, what he's asking further, and just keep an eye this meter per second and here second. This is a very important. Sometimes he given different units, so we have to check it carefully. Next, the length of a time for which the train is traveling constant speed. With the constant speed in the above data, this is called constant speed here. So, but here in diagram, this is called constant speed. So I will drop a line here down. So this time is my concern. This time is my concern. And actually, what is the plan behind? So I have a trapezium diagram here. This is called A and this is called B. Whenever you use a trapezium, the two parallel sides, one side is called A, second is B, and the gap between them is called height. And trapezium area formula I'm writing here. And formula is half times to H, A plus B. And for your knowledge, let's talk about the H and B. So H is in this diagram, this is A and this is B. So what is a gap? What is a gap here? This full length is 600. You can see that. What is this distance? 600. So I'm writing in the place of A 600. And this gap, I don't know, which is my target. So I'll given this name as a, for example, this 600, B equal, sorry, A equal to 600, and B I can take any number. For example, I take a T. So T is a time. All right, and H is a gap between them, and which is here is 16. So I'm writing 16 here. And total distance between two stations given by him is here 9040. So 9040. So 9040. Logic I discussed before, the area under graph is called distance traveled. Now just algebra, this is 2 ones are 2 and 2 eights are 16, and this 8 will come under it. So 9040 divided by 8 equal to 600 plus t. And now let's calculate 9040 divided by 8 and minus 600. And answer is coming, time is a 530 seconds. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So time for the constant speed is a 530 is a 530. Okay. So this part is done as well. Last part is find distance traveled by the train while it's decelerating. Decelerating, I said before, this is decelerating, so this part is decelerating. So he's asking what distance travel. So distance means area. I'm looking for this triangle's area. And for triangle's area, what's the plan in action? So what is the plan? You can use it here, half into base into height. So let's go for that, half into base into height. But before, so this is a plan here. This is base is this and height is this. Okay. And if I check it, if I make a line here, so this height we can get from here 16. So this is 16 for sure. Only base left. Now base is how to get base. We just found it now, time 530. So this time is 530. And wait a minute, sorry, I got 530. This time is 530. It means in this sense, the gap from here till here, this is called 530. It means this gap is called 530 even. So this is a 530. It means this 530 and 530 plus 40. Logic, I need to find this time. So 530 plus 40. 530 plus 40, it gives us 570. So this number is 570. Now I can find the gap easily. And what is the distance? This is the base. Out of 600, subtract 570, got a 30. So 30 is a gap here. So I can say this a base is a 30. And I'm looking for distance. So distance formula, all of you know, half into base into height. And base is a 30 and height is 16. So when I check it, so 8 to 8 are 16, 2 8s are 16, and 8 3s are 24. So 240 meters distance, train will travel while it's stopping. For example, it applies a brakes here. It applies especially a brake here at this moment, brake. And how much distance traveled is the area of this triangle. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I hope so. The point is completely clear.